UFC bet with me. Who's ready to bet on UFC? Me, that's who. MMA locker room here, Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz, and I'm gonna be going over UFC Seattle, headlined by Cejudo taking on Yadong. Okay, we got a lot of fights to talk about. We got about 12 or 13, and we got about 7 fights that got canceled and rescheduled. So this card is just in shambles. But just like always, I'm gonna go through every single fight. I'm going to give you guys my pick, my prediction, and at the end of it, I'm going to give you guys a 2-leg parlay. How'd you guys do last week? Man, okay, we had a decent week. Prediction-wise, we went 8-4. Our premiums, though, we smacked, man. We didn't give too much out. We left a little bit for this week. So we only had Elijah Smith, -105, and we had Angie Hill at -105, okay, on there. Now, look, the parlay that I gave out smacked for you guys again, so I'm going to try to do the same thing. But let me know, what was your guys' best bet from last week, and what is the most best fight that you guys are looking forward to target on this week's card. All right, man. Now, look, if you guys want our premium picks on anything related, the only thing you need to do is go to our premium pick tab right there, pick your favorite capper, and hey, let's go ahead and get it started so we can give you guys our best play for the day. All right, the first fight that we're going to be talking about, we got Modestas Bukauskas. He's going to be taking on Rafael Kadar. All right, let's talk about it. Modestas Bukauskas is a big favorite, -3-1 on the books. Cerqueira, man, I just murdered his name twice, man. Cerqueira. What the? Rafael Cerqueira. Bam. All right, let's talk about him. Brazilian fighter, 11-1. How were we introduced to him? Last time out against Aslan, we had Aslan as a money line play. He starched him in the first round, okay? He's a jiu-jitsu fighter, but this is the thing. It seems like he doesn't like to take a hit. Modestas Bukauskas, since he's been his second stint in the UFC, he's been able to show and improve. He's actually been implementing some takedowns to his game as well. At a -3-1 price tag, this is nothing that I can get behind and just parlay. If it was -180, -200, oh, okay, maybe so. I definitely could. But at a -3-1, I can't parlay him, but I could definitely pick him. The pick's going to be Modestas Bukauskas to get the job done. And I think he wins by decision, okay? All right, next fight on the board. We got Ruziboev taking on McConico. This fight just got put together on short notice, okay? You got Ruziboev, they're going to be the 2-1 favorites. Coming off of a loss against Joaquin Buckley. He was supposed to be taking a fight last year in October against Ronald Fakardinov, and that fight got canceled. McConico, let's talk about him. He had a fight scheduled last week on a different promotion called the Tough Enough promotion, okay? And this one, though, this is the thing. He's a big underdog, and he's training it over there at the MMA lab as well, okay? The reason why is because he has a shot in this one, man. Ruziboev is a guy that we don't know what he's going to do after round 1. It seems like round 1, he slows down. McConico, he's good at wrestling. He's good at takedowns. And I'll be honest, man, if this gets extended past round 1, I could definitely see McConico maybe getting his hand raised, though. But I would just be honest with you guys. Ruziboev, he should be able to keep this on the feet. And that first round, he's always dangerous in. So, me, the pick's going to be Ruziboev in here. But I do think McConico is going to be, a guy that we might be able to back later on. But in this fight, too short notice. I'll be honest, man. It's going to be a close fight, but the pick's going to be the favorite, man. All right, next fight taking place, man. We got Austin Vanderford taking on Veretennikov. All right, this fight literally just got put together 2 days ago. No, yesterday. After we did the podcast, next thing you know, it's out now. And here it is. All right, so let's talk about Austin Vanderford, Paige Van Zet's husband. Used to fight in the Bellator promotion. Tried to come in the UFC earlier on in the Dana White Contender Series, and it didn't work out for him. Then he went back to Bellator, and he won some decent wins, over some good fights and good opponents. In this one, though, I don't know where his mind's been. If he's been trying to really even stay consistent with MMA, and he's taking this fight on short notice in Seattle. Veretennikov, we've seen him on the Dana White Contender Series, okay? And the pick's going to be the favorite in here, man. I just don't know what Austin Vanderford is going to come out here with on short notice. If this was a fight that he prepared for 3-4 months, okay, I might look at it a little bit different. But in this one, I do think the favorite gets it done in here. I will be looking for Austin Vanderford's next couple of fights, but just not this one. Next fight taking place. Ricky Simón taking on Basharat. Ricky Simón, big underdog, okay? 20-6 record, taking on Basharat, who's 14-1. 14-1, coming off his first loss against Zahabi, I want to say. In that fight, he was a big favorite. And it seems like he has everything it takes in the fight. But sometimes he just doesn't pull the trigger. And he leaves you wanting more out there. And you just kind of saying at the screen like, man, did I really just parlay this big favorite? Let's talk about Ricky Simón. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, okay? But in those 3 fights that he lost, they're all against good fighters, all right? Or is it a 2-fight? Whatever, man. This is the thing. I think Ricky Simón is getting disrespected a little bit by the odds. So on this one, I think that he's going to be the more fighter pushing the pace. Basharat usually loses a round to a lot of fighters, okay? Tony Gravely wasn't able to get the job done. Ricky Simón is going to have that Vancouver hometown crowd fighting in Seattle. I think this is going to be the thing to where he's going to have to go out there and show, hey, man, if I don't want to get cut from the UFC and be on another losing streak, I got to go out there and get these takedowns. And this is the thing. I think he will be able to get those takedowns on Basharat. Basharat usually wins his fights by decision. But I'm going with Ricky Simón in this one, man. I usually have a saying, if the fighter, lost with me twice, I can't bet him the third time. Sorry, folks. I'm breaking my rules in this one. Give me Ricky Simón, the dog, man. Let's get it done. I think he wins by decision as well. All right, next fight taking place. We got Nick Klein taking on Mansour Abdul-Malik. Mansour Abdul-Malik has been taking the UFC by storm. Coming off the Dana White Contender Series, he's been able to finish all of his opponents inside the distance. Athletic freak with more power and wants to get you down to the ground. And once he gets you down to the ground, you probably ain't going to come up. So you might as well just go ahead and tap or get that ground and pound. Let's talk about Nick Klein, man. All right. He trains with a guy named Wes Schultz, who already had his fighter Dana White Contender Series against his opponent, Mansour Abdul-Malik. And Wes Schultz is a lot better than Nick Klein, if you ask me, okay? Now, look, we haven't seen Malik extend fights to 15 minutes. Of course, if this gets past out those rounds, we might be in for something different. But give me an under 1.5, and then give me Mansour Abdul-Malik to win inside the distance in this one. Next fight taking place. This is a 50-50 fight on here, and it's a good one, man. But before we do that, smash the like button for me one time out there, man. Everybody watching this, hit up the comments for me, too, and let me know exactly, man, how are we doing on this wonderful, wonderful week, man. Let's get it started. Andre Fili taking on Miguel Costa. Minus 120 for Costa. This line sat there at a pick'em all week. Finally, somebody had the balls to make a bet on Monday. Now he's the favorite in here. All right, former LFA fighter. He's a good fighter that likes to go out there and implement his kicks to get the fight game going. Once that goes, he does chain wrestle, he does grapple, and he's decent with submission. His striking is, I give him a C+. His cardio is there, okay? But his finishability in fights, you need to have just that stronger finish ability for me at the UFC level if you really want to be a mainstay. All right, let's talk about Andre Fili. This guy done fought the who's in the division. He done been passed around, homeboy to homegirl, like everybody, man. Like, he done fought the who's. This is the thing, though, man. I think in this one, he's going to have a little bit more tools in that toolbox out there. Coming off a good win against Cub Swanson, showing that, hey, man, he can go the distance and, hey, do what he needs to just to win the fight. He went back to his wrestling where he trains with fighters like Uriah Faber and stuff. So, he's definitely always going to have that in his pedigree. But this is the thing. Sometimes he just doesn't go out there and execute. I think this is going to be a fight that we're going to go ahead and get Andre Fili back in that win column again, extend that win streak out there as well. Let's go ahead and get it, man. It's a good fight though, and it is an even fight. I do see. Okay, you got potential on one side, and then you got the experience on the other. I gotta go with the experience in the fight resume. Give me Andre Touchy-Feely in this one. All right, next fight taking place, man. We got Aslan taking on Cuțelaba. Let's talk about it. Cuțelaba is coming off a win in his last fight out, taking on a UFC newcomer. But he's a fighter that nobody can trust. Why? Because he goes out there and just doesn't fight with his brain at all. I mean, he has some of the worst fight IQ that we've seen in the UFC. But let's talk about some things that he's good at. He has power. And look, when he wants to, he can slow the fight down and wrestle. That's the thing. Cuțelaba is a good wrestler. If he mixed in everything instead of just trying to do one thing, I think we'll see a lot more wins for him. But in this one, let's talk about the favorite. Aslan, I like this guy. Turkish fighter, 14 wins, and all 14 of them came by KO. Last time out, we got him at a good money spot. So in this fight, once it got announced, I was already targeting it. What I'll do, I locked him up minus 132. Now he's all the way up to a minus 180 favorite on there. In here, I just got to go with the favorite in there. Seeing what I've seen the book already on Cuțelaba. I think Aslan could even win by a second round KO. So go ahead and give me Aslan to get the job done. Next fight taking place. Alonzo Menifield taking on Julius Walker. Julius Walker is making his UFC debut. Short notice, man. He literally just got the fight thrown to him, I want to say like a week ago or so. Or I don't even know. Maybe a little bit longer than that. But look, this guy is 6-0. Extensive amateur background. All right. So in this one, Alonzo Menifield is a minus 2-1 favorite. But he's that fighter to where a lot of people just feel like when you bet on him to win as a favorite, he doesn't do it. And then when you think he's going to lose, he surprises you. So a lot of people don't know how to bet him. I know a lot about Alonzo Menifield, man. In this one, I'll be honest with you. The better fighter is probably going to be Alonzo Menifield. But I'm just going with Julius Walker in here, man. I think that he's going to be able to extend this fight later on. Alonzo Menifield does not have good technique, and he throws so sloppy as the fight goes, okay? And I do believe that Julius Walker is going to, use his frame a little bit, use his experience, and not give Alonzo Menifield a brawl. He's going to go out there and just kind of pace himself and see what happens in this fight. That's what I think. He's a young fighter, okay? He just flew out to Seattle, I want to say yesterday, all right? And he already had everything game planned to where he was like, hey, this is the time I want to come into the UFC around when I'm 25 years old. I want to come into this division, the light heavyweight division. He already had it mapped out. He was like, hey, if I win like 2 or 3 fights, I'm probably going to be fighting somebody in the top 10, top 15. It's just how it goes right there. And I like the way that he kind of looks at this fight game and stuff, man. So give me Julius Walker. Give me the dog in this one, man. Next fight taking place. John Silva taking on Millz Baghdasaryan. John Silva's a big favorite. Minus 600 on the book. Millz Baghdasaryan was dealing with injuries. That's why he's been on the sideline. He only fought 3 times in the UFC since signing to the promotion. Last year, he didn't even fight. He had 3 major injuries. He's a striker that just goes out there and fights with this game plan, literally. In media day today, I heard him, talking to James Lynch, and he said, I don't even watch tape on none of my fighters. 24 fights in, from K1 to boxing to MMA. I've never watched tape study on any fighter. I just go out there and I do me. Man, that's not the stuff you want to hear at all, man. Especially if you're just not elite. Top tier at every single angle, to where it's like, no, my takedown defense is immaculate, my striking's immaculate, my cardio's on point. But in here, man, I think the books got this one wrong, man. I think John Silva should definitely be a favorite, but not this big of a favorite, man. It's going to be striker versus striker out here. And I think Millz Baghdasaryan is not going to give Gene Silva the fight that he wants out here. And I'll just be honest with you guys, man. I've been making money on Gene Silva back to back. Never bet against him, only once against William Gomez, and that fight got canceled before it got thrown out. This is a fight to where I'm going to just be honest with you guys, man. I'm going to be betting on the dog at this price. Yeah, it's a price thing, and then it's also a thing to where Millz has skills. I've seen him multiple times win me that first round, win me the round, and then lose. So it's one of those things, and usually you lose to somebody that's going to be way more aggressive with the wrestling and just try to win that way. In this one, I think they're going to stand out there and bang, man. Give me the dog in this one. Millz Baghdasaryan. Going to surprise some people. If not, hey, man, there's nothing I could do with Gene Silva at minus 600. There's nothing I could do with that. If it was minus 250, there's something I can do with that, and make a case. But for me, I'm just telling you what I'm putting my money out on this one. Next fight, man. Gene Matsumoto taking on Rob Font. This fight just got thrown together too. Gene Matsumoto is going to be taking a big step up. Rob Font is that guy to where you think you're taking that next step. You're not. He's going to put you right back where you need to be. Coming off a big win against Kyler Phillips. Gene Matsumoto is a guy that usually wins all of his fights by decision out there. Clean striking as well. And here, I think he's going to be able to match Rob Font with the volume in there. And if he wants to, he can get the wrestling and takedowns because Rob Font does struggle with that. that. Matsumoto as a favorite in this spot should be warranted, but I don't think of the big of a favorite like that. We've seen Rob Font spoil a lot of people's careers, man. He could do it again here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But in here, I got to go with Matsumoto in this pick. Just because I've seen him win multiple rounds as of late. And Rob Font, sometimes he just leaves you wanting more out there. And if Gene Matsumoto can mix it all up and not just be going out there to strike, I think Matsumoto could win by decision. Co-main event time. Anthony Hernandez taking on Brandon Allen. Anthony Hernandez is a -2-1 favorite out there. This is a fight that already took place. And when it did, Anthony Hernandez only had 5 fights in his career. And when he fought him on an LFA promotion. And guess what? In that one, I guess he broke his hand or he did something with his hand to where he couldn't even punch. And he couldn't even do too much cardio. And he still won. In this one, think he's going to get the job done, man. We've been riding with Anthony Hernandez for a long time over here. You know already, man. I got an interview with Anthony Hernandez. He's boys with my boy Max Griffin. I mean, it's just something around there, man. Anthony Hernandez, I think, should be able to get the job done inside the distance. But if not, the decision play is also in play as well, okay? Anthony Hernandez coming off of a good win against Michel Pierre. We laid the -110 on him on that spot. That was a gimme spot on there. We've been cashing and cashing and cashing. His cardio is top tier. His wrestling is top tier. His striking is improving. His takedown defense is there. His fight IQ is there. The fight resume, he's getting better by getting these people that want to fight him now. The finishability, got to give him an A as well, man. I'm all invested in Anthony Hernandez in this spot. I just damn, man. I think that Anthony Hernandez is just a step above better than Brandon Allen. Like a step though, you know, not even a couple of steps. All right, man. Main event time. Henry Cejudo taking on Song Yadong. Song Yadong is a big favorite, -3-1. Is this Henry Cejudo's last fight? It might be, but look, listen and hear me out, man. I've been seeing this guy. Shout out to my guy Dylan Rush out there sending me clips and media. He's been training with Khabib Nurmagomedov, coaching him, Islam Makhachev, Umar Nurmagomedov, and all the Dagestan fighters for the last couple of months preparing for this fight, okay? And he's a guy that, Olympic wrestler, he's just always going to be knowing what to do to get to that next level, man. I got to be honest with you guys, man. Song Yadong's a good fighter. He's going to have the striking advantage in this one. But I think overall, Henry Cejudo has fought people like Song Yadong before, man. I got to go with Triple C in this one, man. Give me Henry Cejudo to go ahead and surprise some people out there. And, hey, I'll be honest with you guys, man. A lot of people are going to tell you that Henry Cejudo didn't look good, this and that. He's 0-2. He almost beat Aljamain Sterling for the belt, and then he lost to Merab. That's it. So in this one, I gotta go with Triple C, man. Give me Henry Cejudo to go ahead and show this Song Yadong kid and put a little beating and a little lesson on him real quick, you know, and win by decision. All right, man. Let's go ahead and give you the parlay to get you paid, man. All right, so I'll give you a 2-leg parlay. Oh man, I don't want to. That's a hard one right there. I'm not. All right, I'm gonna take Ibo Aslan. All right, and then we're gonna take. Let's see. We'll take Ibo Aslan, and then we'll parlay him with, Anthony Hernandez. Yeah, there we go. Ibo Aslan and Anthony Hernandez. 2-leg parlay. All right, now look. Let's go over everything for you guys just to let you guys know exactly how I'm leaning. All right, first fight, I'm taking Bukauskas in that one. All right, I think the favorite's going to be able to get the job done in that one. Second fight, I lean the favorite, Ruziboev, but I will tell you guys, McConico might be a slight dog for you guys. Third fight, give me Veretennikov. I got to go with the favorite in this spot as well. Fourth fight, give me Simone over Basharat. I like the dog. And then I'm taking Malik. I'm taking Fili. I'm taking Aslan. I'm taking Walker as a dog. I'm taking Baghdasaryan as a dog. I'm taking Matsumoto. I'm taking Hernandez. And then we're taking Henry Cejudo as a dog. Guess what? MMA Locker Room here, part of Pick Dawgz. Did you just pick some dogs? Of course we did. See you guys next time. UFC bet with me.